Hello students, I hope you are all fine and in good health. I am continuing with the one act play, the Browning version, an entirely new chapter that I had already started discussion in my previous audio lecture session. And in the conversation between Frank and Taplov, Frank asked Taplov that whether he haven't got his results yet, that whether he doesn't know whether he has qualified, he has promoted or not. In reply, Taplov told that no sir, there is no chance about it. As I already told you in my previous audio lecture session, that Crocker Harris is unlike the other teachers or other masters. The other teachers or the other masters, they used to inform the students whether they are promoted or not in advance. They used to leak out the results, but Crocker Harris is a man of principle. He is not like the other teachers. He never discloses the results before the actual declaration date. So now I am moving on to the next page, page number 51. Frank is asking why not? Taplov. Well, you know what he is like, sir. Sir, you know his nature. He is a very tough teacher. He is not like the others. You know, sir, I guess. Frank, I believe there is a rule that forms results should only be announced by the headmaster on the last day of term. Okay, Frank told Taplov that I believe the annual results, the form results means the form here means class results. Whenever we are promoted from one class to another, that is the form results. Form, F-O-R-M. Here, in the context of this drama, form means class. So see what Frank is saying. I believe there is a rule that form results should only be announced by the headmaster on the last day of term. The Frank is saying that I do believe that the headmaster, he actually takes up the responsibility on his shoulders. He informs the students about the class results on the last day of the session or the last day of the term. Taplov, yes, but who else pays attention to it except Mr. Crocker Harris? Yes, sir, you are absolutely right. The headmaster takes the responsibility of declaring the results in each classes on the last day of the term or the last day before the closing of the academic session for that year. But no, except Crocker Harris, no one abides by that. That means he is very much clear. As I already told you that you will get a glimpse of the educational system also. Not only we will get an insight into the nature and the personality of Crocker Harris, that is definitely the priority of this particular drama. We will get that information regarding that. But apart from that, we will get a dismal picture of the nature of the other teachers, and we will get a picture of the educational system of Britain during those times. So here Taplov is saying that absolutely right you are, sir, that the headmaster takes the responsibility on his shoulders to declare the results in each classes on the last day of the academic session. But hardly any teacher follows that particular norm or ethics or code of conduct except Mr. Crocker Harris. See, it is written, yes, but who else pays attention to it except Mr. Crocker Harris? Frank, I don't, I admit, but that's no criterion. Okay, Frank frankly admits that I don't pay any attention, or rather to say I don't follow that rule. I declare the results. Whenever I find all the results with me, and if a student is curious to ask me, if he asks me, then I declare the result. I admit. Now he is confessing that I declare it beforehand only. Before, that means I don't follow the rule. I don't follow the ethical code of academic conduct. I admit, but that's no criterion. So you have got to wait until tomorrow to know your fate, have you? That means, now Frank is saying that means since you don't know your result, that means you have to wait until tomorrow to know whether you are qualified, whether you are promoted or you are detained. Taplov, yes sir, you are absolutely right, I have to wait. Frank, supposing the answer is favorable, what then? Suppose you pass with flying colors. If the answer is favorable, what you want to learn after that? That means which specialization you want to do, on which subject you want to do specialization. Oh, science, sir, of course. Of course, sir, I want to take up science. And remember, in the introductory part in my previous audio lecture, I told you that despite Frank being a science teacher, he will not motivate Taplow to take up science, because being a science teacher, he dislikes teaching science to the students. We will get to know about it later also. That is the reason I told you all previously that only Crocker Harris is a genuine teacher who is to love teaching. From the core of his heart, from the bottom of his heart, he is to love teaching. But Frank was not like him. And that is the reason Frank literally will discourage Taplow from taking up science. See? Oh, science, sir, of course. Frank, sadly. That means the answer that Taplow had given haven't impressed Frank at all. Yes, sadly. Yes, we get all the slackers. Slackers actually means those lazy students who are actually dumb, who doesn't have the brains to understand the concepts of science and all this. So, and it seems that if a morale of a teacher is low, then how can we expect the morale of our students should be higher? It seems that Frank is very frustrated also. It seems so, because see, he is discouraging Taplow by saying that yes, every year we get all the slackers. We get all the lazy students who doesn't have the confidence to study science, but he is not taking the blame on him that he is not able to teach them properly. Though he admits that he never likes the subject that he is teaching, or the topics that he taught, he never liked it actually. So see this line, yes, we get all the slackers. Taplow protestingly, I am extremely interested in science, sir. Sir, my case is slightly different. Sir, I am very much interested in science. I am not a slacker. I am not a lazy student. I am very much confident that if I take up science, I will learn it very seriously and very diligently. So see this line, because Taplow protestingly, I am extremely interested in science, sir. Sir, please don't actually categorize me among those slackers. I am different from them. Frankly speaking, sir, I admit to you, I am extremely interested in science. Frank, are you? I am not. I already told you, dear students, that despite he is a science teacher, he never likes teaching science. Now that is a very unfortunate thing. And that shows that he is not only frustrated, even his morale is very low. And if his own morale is low, how he will motivate and boost up the morale of his students? That is something unexpected from him. But that is it. He is like this. So, are you? I am not. That means you are interested in science. But as a teacher, I am not interested. I am not interested in teaching. It seems that you are interested in learning, and quite promptly you told that, sir, don't categorize me among those slackers. I am different from them and I am very much interested in science. But frankly speaking, from my perspective, I am not interested in teaching science. Are you? I am not. Not at least in the science I have to teach. Maybe the topics that were been assigned to Frank to teach in the class, Frank is not eager to go through those topics. Frank is not interested to teach those topics. Maybe he is not comfortable with those topics. It can be that. See, this line actually makes it clear to us that he is not very much eager to teach science to the student, despite he is a science teacher. Maybe he is not comfortable, as I told you, with the topics that were been given to him or assigned to him to teach in the class. See, not at least in the science I have to teach. Oh, Taplow, well, anyway, sir, it's a good deal more exciting than this muck, indicating his book. Muck actually means something that is useless, something that is very boring. And he had a book in his hand. Now that book is actually a Greek drama, and the name of the drama is Agamemnon. It is written by a famous Greek dramatist by the name of Aeschylus. And the Greek dramas and the classical literature, all these things were taught to Taplow and the other students by Mr. Crocker Harris. And these things are very boring to him, and he is confessing it to Frank. What is this muck? Aeschylus, sir, the Agamemnon. This is very important, dear students. You have to underline it. Now, Aeschylus is the name of the Greek dramatist, And Agamemnon is the name of the Greek drama. It is a Greek tragedy actually. Frank. And your considered view is that the Agamemnon is Mark. That means Frank is saying that this particular Greek drama that is in your hand and it has been written by Aeschylus as you told me. Is it a boring thing? It is something monotonous. You don't like this. Well, no, sir, I don't think the play is Mark. No, the plot of the play is not boring, sir. Exactly, I suppose in a way it's rather a good plot. The plot is very interesting, sir, but some of the words are very difficult to pronounce and it is very monotonous and equally it is very boring also. I suppose in a way it's a rather a good plot, but the plot of the drama is very interesting. Really, a wife murdering her husband and all that. Yes, it is a thriller, sir. It is about a wife murdering her husband and all this. I only meant the way it is taught to us, but the way Crocker Harris teaches us. Nevertheless, Crocker Harris teaches them well, genuinely by using a lot of Greek words. Now, those words are very hard for Taplow and the other students of his age to pronounce and to understand properly. There lies the main problem, and there lies the monotonous effect of that. See, it is written, I suppose in a way it's a rather a good plot, really a wife murdering her husband and all that. I only meant the way it's taught to us, just a lot of Greek words strung together and 50 lines if you get them wrong. A lot of Greek words are closely attached with one another, and if you get them wrong, then obviously you will get a lot of scolding. Frank, you sound a little bitter, Taplow. You are very critical. You are sounding a little bitter. Taplow, I am rather, sir. Captain. No, sir, extra word. Captain means actually captain. Frank actually tried to mean captain means are you staying back? Have you got any punishment? No, sir, extra work. As I already told you in the intro part in my previous audio lecture that Taplow, perhaps he missed one or two of the important classes of Crocker Harris, and Frank thought that the pending work I should submit it before the declaration of the result, because who knows, Crocker Harris, if he is not impressed by me, he might detain me. That is the reason he came to show his assignments to Crocker Harris. But his Crocker Harris is not in his house. You sound a little bitter, Taplow. Frank, I am rather, sir. Frank, Captain, no, sir, extra work. Frank, extra work on the last day of school? Now, Frank is a bit surprised because this is something hardly noticeable among the students. That is the reason Frank told Taplow the extra work. You are about to submit extra work on the last day of the school. It is something very much hardly I can believe this. Is it true? Now, dear students, I am moving on to page number 52 because the dialogue of Taplow is very important. Taplow, yes, sir. And I might be playing golf. Yes, that is the reason. Or I would have been playing golf by now. I would have loitered here and there, but I had no other option, sir. I had to submit this extra work. You'd think he had enough to do anyway himself, considering he is leaving tomorrow for good. Now, this is very important. As I already told you that Crocker Harris, Mr. Crocker Harris is a very experienced teacher, elderly person, and he is on the verge of retirement. Maybe he is retiring tomorrow. See, he is leaving tomorrow for good. That means that he is leaving the school tomorrow for good. But oh no, I missed a day last week. This is the reason, as I told you, that he missed one or two of Crocker Harris's valuable classes where when he had given an assignment. That is the reason he came to submit it. It was pending actually. I missed a day last week when I was ill. So here I am. And look at the weather, sir. That is the reason I'm here. And look at the weather. I had no other way out. I could have enjoyed my time in fun and frolicking with my other friends, but I had no other option. And Mr. Crocker Harris, he is about to retire tomorrow. He's leaving the school for good. But I missed a day last week in his class, and tomorrow is the declaration of the results. So I don't want to leave any stone unturned. So I came here to show my assignment so that it may not amount to a displeasure from the perspective of Crocker Harris. because if I don't submit it, who knows, I might not get my remove, I may be detained. So I don't want to take any sort of risk. I don't want to leave any stone unturned. It's a very important thing that I told right now. That is the reason he came. Because see, here it is written, dear students, I missed a day last week when I was ill. So here I am, and look at the weather, sir. He was ill. He was having fever. He was not well. That was the reason he missed 1 or 2 of Crocker Harris's classes the previous week. And that is the reason he came to submit his pending work. And surprisingly, he came to submit his pending work the last day, because the next day only the results would be declared. So this is something surprising. But he is very scared of Crocker Harris, and is very scared of the decisions that will be taken by Crocker Harris. So he came without taking any risks, on his part. He came to submit his pending assignment. So dear students, I stop here. In my next audio presentation, I will continue. Thank you, students. Thank you all.